G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here on the brand new expansion for Age of Empires for this is the Sultan's Ascend. We're on a new map as well. We're on Golden Pit and boy oh boy am I excited for the matchup that we've got today because we've got one of the very first old Civ versus new Civ. Even though I kind of mixed that up there and flipped it around. We got the Russ down here on the south side and towards that north side, we've got the brand new Chinese variant. It's Juicy's Legacy. So let's talk about our players for the game. So spawning in over on that west edge of the map in the color green, playing as the Russ today, we've got Bum9. And on that eastern side of the map in the color pink, playing as Juicy's Legacy, the Chinese variant for the Sultan's Ascent. This is Optimus Prime, aka Corven S1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. It is an absolute pleasure to be bringing this casted game to you, and if you're enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, I encourage you to go ahead and leave a like on the video, drop a comment if you've got any questions, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're in for an absolute treat today because we've got two Conqueror 3 players that are going to be going up against each other on Civilizations, which we've very rarely seen. In fact, I don't think we've ever seen this yet, at least not that I've casted. I'm sure it's happened on the ladder somewhere. But I think what's interesting about this is you've got two players that are familiar with their civilizations, love their civs, and are now getting put in the zone. Because the question has always come at the beginning of these expansions. Are these civilizations too strong? Is Juicy's Legacy too strong? How's it going to stack up against these other civs? We just didn't know because it's only been Juicy's Legacy versus the Byzantines, versus Jeanne d'Arc, or versus the Japanese. So it is hard to... we don't really have a baseline for Civ Strength. And the great thing is that with Bum9 here playing as the Russ, well, ladies and gentlemen, do I need to remind you about the balance for last season, for the last tournaments? The only civilization that was just routinely banned by top-level pros was the Russ. So, it's going to be an exciting game, this is for sure, because you've got arguably the strongest old Civ versus the strongest new Civ. Though I do say that what I do find interesting is that Jeanne d'Arc is actually very difficult to play against. I don't know about you guys. I've been doing quite a bit of laddering, not a whole bunch, but I played against one game when I was, I was doing my Byzantine things, and I was up against Jeanne d'Arc. Damn, dude. Once she gets level 3, the game is over, man. Like, she is crazy strong. I don't even really know how to counter it as the Byzantines, right? Because I think the answer is almost certainly you have to be Castle Age by the time she gets Castle Age. Because playing spears, she just runs up to you, does her AoE, and, spins to win, and that's it. And there's nothing really you can do. If you go archers, she's got a 50% damage reduction. You go cavalry, she's just got to laugh at you because she's got knights. It's very difficult, but look, I'm curious to cast some more Jeanne d'Arc games because she seems like a tough cookie to crack. But speaking of cookies, let's check in with how this cookie in the north is going as he drops down his meditation gardens. Let's give this one a rating out of we give this one a rating out of 10. This is going to be a juicy little age up right here. Let's talk about this. So we've got the double stone outcropping together with the berries. This is one of the best options for you if you've got it. The food plus stone. And the reason why is because the food is always great to have. As any civilization, the more food you can have, the better, because it just means that you can delay your farm transition. Ideally, you're going to be throwing down farms around, say, the 20-minute mark. Some games that's 15, some games it's 10, depending on how well it goes for you. And this meditation gardens, if it comes up at 4 minutes and it's adding in 50 food every minute, it's going to be adding in, 750 food until you need to add in farms. That's a pretty decent amount of food. But the age up now coming through a little bit after the 4-minute mark. We can see a beautiful little position that he's got here. Now, keep in mind that the meditation gardens doesn't act as a drop-off point here, so he's going to have to walk back and throw these deer carcasses back under the TC. But one thing also to note is that it does not pick up the deer. It's only going to be picking up the wood, the food, and the stone. We can actually check what the rates are going to be as well for this, because we just times them by 4 this early on. Actually, it might only be a times 2 here. I think he's got the second one already. So it's going to be 60, 14, and 48. So there you go. So not a bad little income that he's got sitting there, about, 120, somewhere around that. So not too bad. On the other side of the map, though, Optimus Prime now playing up against an opponent who's in the feudal age as well. We see that stable goes down immediately for Bum9, and the Kremlin is up. Now, what's interesting is that the Kremlin has copped a couple of, I don't know if they're nerfs rather than bug fixes. I think they were meant to be changed and they weren't changed. So there's some slight changes in this patch to the Russ, but there's nothing overly oppressive as far as I'm aware. But we do now see Bum9 looking to take a second TC. I'm curious to see how the town center changes will affect this civilization. Of course, the Rus infamous for their ability to go into that early night and then follow it up with a town center or two. They love doing it, and the first of the knights is now on the field. Let's check in over on the other side of the map as looks like we might have an age up coming through. Have a look at the resources that are in the bag right now. A little bit, I'd say a little bit late, but to be honest, it's about 15 seconds on where it could be. That's still pretty on time, I'd say. And I love the way that he moves the villagers around to the side. Just very cognizant of a knight potentially coming through here. Really nice job here by Corven. So once again, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch Corven. You may be familiar, maybe you haven't watched this Age of Empires 4 for a while. This is the gentleman who is also known by the name Salami. So a very famous member of the community, and obviously a very talented player, and always great to watch him be so creative with these new civilizations. And there's the knight now with the scout in tow. Town center follows it up with a couple of shots, garrisons the TC, gets some solid damage on that early knight, manages to take it down to almost half HP, 98 out of 190. Age up just about through now for the Shaolin Monastery. Look at the timing on this, 6 minutes, 30 seconds, and throws the barracks down. I believe this is definitely the best follow-up. I played a ranked game against Vortex, and he did a very similar opening strategy, and he followed up with a barracks. It's difficult to deal with, because the Shaolin monks kill everything except cavalry, and then your spearmen just kill cavalry, and it's like, you just get them to run around, best friends holding hands, and you're having a good time. All right, well, speaking of good times, let's check in with Bum9. See how he's doing. It kind of reminds me of Day 9. This is Day 9's less hygienic brother that we're dealing with right now. Knight moving out the front of the base. He's looking for vills. He's not going to find any on gold. And he's just going to chill for the moment. I mean, realistically, he could look to try and put some pressure on the meditation gardens, but, you know, there's probably not a lot that you could do. Especially now that the Shaolin monks are out. These guys are going to start dancing their bamboo sticks on the enemy's face. What is the reaction going to be from the Russ player here? So I would be looking for things like walls. I think walls are going to be very important, and also to go into archers. I think you can afford to play in feudal for a little bit longer than what is standard, just because it's imperative that he tries to deny relics as long as he can. It should be easy for him to take out the Shaolin monks just because he's got the knights on the field. The Shaolin monks they're still probably going to beat oh gosh, he's already picked up the first relic. Second relic is coming in. How do you stop them? I mean, they're so quick onto the field, the Shaolin monks. I've really got no idea what the counter is to this unit. Definitely a strong unit. I'm curious, what are your thoughts? How do you go about countering this unit, let alone beating this unit? Now coming through, looks like he's going to be able to tank up a fair bit of this. The Wallalol's going to go down. Is he going to be able to do it? He says, no, sorry, Bob, I'm not gonna risk it for the biscuit today. And now the warrior monk, or rather the Shaolin monk, heals up as it walks away. How cool is that? I tell you what, that is just so damn cool and kind of crazy. I don't know how that one got through the balance test. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, that one slipped through. All right, well, I just realized Corvinus did a mill next to the town center. I didn't even point that one out. This is an old school technique. We've been doing this one for a while. But Shaolin monk, first relic comes through. He's already picked up that. Where is that? There it is. Second one. It doesn't actually show on the UI. Might be a little bit of a bug. Perhaps they don't register as religious units when they're carrying those. But now the Wallalol comes in. Is he sticking it? Oh, he's sticking it. He might get a couple. It's the Wallalol god, baby. He gets 3 of them and says, see you later, mate. I'll take them for you. And now look at that advantage that's come in for that military. Beautiful Wallalol right there. I tell you what, that new Wallalol, it is so powerful. It's not really new. It's just a new sound. But it just sounds so good, doesn't it? I tell you what, it sounds amazing. Uses the knight to kill his archer. Oh, you hate to see it. That right there, the true power of the Juicy. But now, rushing up that Jiangnan Tower. He'll be looking for a second town center after he secures the Jiangnan Tower. This is going to be sending him into the Song Dynasty, which will be reducing the cost of all of his non-military buildings. So that doesn't mean economic buildings, that means non-military buildings. So as an example, a blacksmith, that's a non-military building. Granary, non-military building. Outpost, you better believe it's a non-military building for some reason. I don't know why. It's only the barracks, archery range, the stable, and the dock that aren't affected by that. I suppose probably the siege workshop as well. Though, I guess you could probably make an argument that it's not a military, it's siege. That's probably part of your military though, isn't it? Anyway, let's check in and see how Optimus is doing at the moment, as he's going to be Throwing down... Where's that second TC? In fact, we haven't actually seen that second TC yet. He's got the resources in the bank for it. He could look to put it down. He's got to be throwing it down. There it is. He throws it down. Next relic's on the way through. He's already got 3 in the bank. This is the 4th one. Where is that 5th relic? There it is, down on the south side, yet to be taken out. So there's a couple of different responses that his opponent could have had in this situation. One of them was to wall the relics in, especially with the Russ. They do build their walls faster and they've got stronger walls. So if anything, that's a great idea. But I do think this is quite a difficult strategy to also scout for. Just simply because the age ups are so cheap for Juicy's legacy. It can be difficult to know how much resources are going to be going towards an age up versus going towards a Song dynasty. And it can be difficult to determine, you know, should I wall relics or should I not? You've got to kind of wait for the age up, but then I feel like at that point it's already too late because you can use the scout to block walls, and you've got to have the appropriate unit out where the scout is. So there's definitely quite a bit of skill that goes into it. We'll say that much. But let's check in now on these Southsiders. We've got our green player looking to put down his high trade house. He's going to need to pull a big number here if he wants to get success, if he wants to find any kind of meaningful gold income this game, because there is a significant lack of relics on the map. 4 in the bag right now for our Juicy Legacy player. He's got, there we go, 1 in the monastery, 3 in the Shaolin monastery, and the 5th one walking back to base ever so slowly. Age up coming through now for Bum 9. How many trees are on this? What do you reckon? I'm going to go with 47. 68! Damn, that is nice. Almost nice. Only 93 gold a minute. I think this might change. I think this might go up. A little bit of an attack up towards that north side. Just looking to focus down the hunting cabin for the moment. Probably an expensive cost, but Shaolin Monk in the north going to be able to defend that sacred site. Did unfortunately get decapped, but he'll very quickly look to recap it. One of the great things about those Shaolin monks is you just send them to attack move to the sacred sites, and they'll do all the dirty work for you. You don't even have to think about it. Now we see a couple of militia going to be coming out here, looking to try and defend villagers, plonking out the other side. Militia now running through, looking to just hit that Shaolin monk, but look at the amount of armor these guys have got on them. Able to take out the horseman. Remember, that was his horseman. So he's lost his own horseman to his own militia. And now the scouts working their way through. You can see we've got 2 different types of scouts right here. I don't know which one's, I think this one's the Chinese one. This one here is the Rus one. I'm not 100% sure. But all of those villagers went down. I mean, that's a victory right there for Juicy's Legacy. That is for sure. Mitigating every single aspect of that second town center right now. You can see that he's sitting on the 2 TCs, and he's just lost everything right there in the blink of an eye. It's painful stuff, but I can't help feel like maybe a wall or 2 could have been the difference between keeping those villagers alive. Men-at-arm timing, though. We could be going big right now. Have a look at the numbers that are moving out here. Militia go down as well. Moving into +2 ranged armor. Speaking of walls, we were just talking about it. Large palisade walls now beginning to come up here for Optimus. At the back of the base, the triple granary threat coming in here. You can see he's left enough space for 2 rows of farm. Wants to make sure that he's got space back here for the maximum influence. By doing this, he's going to stack up triple the influence on these central farms. Means that they gather very, very quickly. The only bad thing about this is you just lack space for farms. Often one of the things with the Chinese, with Juicy's Legacy, is that you want to go into quite a bit of farms. I'm talking like 70, 80 farms. And here you've got space for maybe 35, maybe 40 if you push it. And as a result, it makes it difficult. But we'll switch it over to income now. We're 14 minutes through this game, and you can see that this whole game, Optimus Prime has just had 60 gold a minute, or 60 stone a minute coming in. He hasn't taken stone. We see the first mining camp coming down on stone this game. And yet, look at this. 1 town center. 2 town centers, 3 town centers. He hasn't, 4 town centers. He hasn't gathered a single bit of stone himself. Every single drop of stone that has come through unlawfully through those meditation gardens. You should have been dealing with that. But unfortunately, those meditation gardens, they're strong. Speaking of strong, have a look at this. Men-at-arms on the front line now, cleaning up the Shaolin monks. They say, get on out of here and take your bamboo with you. Doing a decent little job of pushing them back. Men-at-arms now looking to come through. Optimus might have to start thinking about moving into crossbow. But you can see that he's just focused at the moment on Shaolin monks. One difficult thing for the Shaolin monks is that you only can make them out of the Shaolin monastery until you've got pagodas. And I don't see any sign of pagodas yet. He's on the Song dynasty. Wololo! Oh, the Wololo attempt to defend! Oh, he could totally go for a trap here. Force his enemy to delete the army. Baits it back in, doesn't get it. All the heals coming in as well at the same time. Does he pull out a second relic? He could look to go for it again. Another Shaolin Monk coming out. Crossbow on the back. That ain't going to do much. There's the next Wololo. He's going to try once again. Forces back his opponent. Should be able to heal. Look at the downtime. Gets all the men-at-arms. The Wololo God strikes again twice in the same game. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, I guess. It was either that or a lightning reference, one of the two. Oh, you know what? We'll bring the lightning reference for the next time he does a Wololo. Can you believe that? How many men-at-arms is that? 6 men-at-arms. That swings the fight. You've gone from having 12 men-at-arms. It's a 12-minute swing, right? Because there's 6 on the enemy side, and now you've got 6 all of a sudden. It's a huge difference that makes. And combine that with the earlier Wololo, it just continues to build here. He's found himself so much time. The men-at-arms will slowly fall down. We can see the crossbow numbers are being added in the siege workshop in the middle of the map. I think there was a villager building it, but unfortunately did go the way of the dodo. Now behind this is just ludicrous. Look at the town centers coming down. The fact that he can just go so many town centers for free. He literally has free town centers coming up right now. This is insanity. Now finally the men-at-arms going to be looking to push out with the crossbows. He's lost a lot of the tempo on this attack, and we can see now that his opponent's got a decent-sized keep on the front line, which is going to mean if you want to get through this, you're going to need more than that siege workshop. You're going to need trebuchets, you're going to need battering rams, you're going to need something to get through me on this front line. I guess the alternative is that we just go around. But hey, come on. When have you ever gone around an opponent's keep? They put the keep there. It's a challenge. It's like a fight. It's a challenge. We'll just go with challenge. It's a challenge. They're like, hey, fight me. And you're like, okay, that's a keep. I'll do it. Farm's now starting to come up. Oh, no, don't tell me he didn't leave enough space. Oh, you hate to see it. It's not that he didn't leave enough space. It's that he didn't have enough space from the town center. One tile. Oh, you can see right there. He wishes he had the space for it. But I think that just really comes down to positioning of the farms. It might not seem like much, but it can really start to add up. And especially if you consider, like, you probably just could have thrown it down over here. I mean, to be honest, there's really not a lot of space in the back of this base. Maybe in this area, but even then, yeah, it's not the best, not the prettiest. I guess he's pretty crammed in on the back here. I guess we'll have to call that the best situation. Perhaps, oh no, stone walls. Oh, never mind. I thought he was playing the Chinese for a second, not Juicy's Legacy. I saw the stone walls. I'm like, oh no, he's going for the landmark, the Imperial, the gatehouse. But of course, Juicy's Legacy does not have access to the gatehouse. Now, we're still in Song Dynasty at the moment. One of the things I would love to see from Optimus at this point is for him to go to the Yuan Dynasty, and from there, build your pagodas. The pagodas are locked behind that. So we see right here, the pagoda, it requires the Yuan Dynasty, and you'll see that the pagoda can build the Shaolin Monk. On top of that, you can build 3 pagodas, which means you can have 3 Shaolin Monks building at a time, plus your one from the Shaolin Monastery. And on top of that, you can supervise them with your Imperial Official, if you know what I'm saying. So we can really get some pretty big numbers going here if we want to, and if we know how to. I think that's also going to be another key. But I love the way that at this point, Optimus is just slowly stalling out this game. By putting the keeps down, by putting up the stone wall, he says to his opponent, stay back, stay back. And remember that this whole time he's just had multiple town centers pumping out villagers. His opponent, left with not a lot to work with, has now opened up a hole in the bottom wall. We're 18 minutes through this game. You can't help but feel he may have left it a little bit late. The number's not looking the best at the moment for Corvinus, aka Optimus. Town center. It's got 8 villagers here. There's only going to be space for 7. The 7th villager. Unfortunately, that's it. You only get 7 inside. The 8th one dies. Now looking to focus down the crossbows, but we've got the nest of bees. Oh, it's hunting. You can see it. It wants it. Give it to me, baby. Decent shot comes through. At the same time, those... Look at this. Oh my gosh, the bald strategy is working wonderfully at this point. This is impressive, but I mean, I just want to remark right now on how well Optimus Prime is playing this strategy. It is... The whole idea of it is exactly this. You go to Castle Age, you get the relics. Behind that, you want to start building up this farming economy so that you can see that, you know, you're hitting a 2,000 food a minute income from the safety of your base. And at that point, you can decide, hey, maybe I can add a few more Shaolin monks. And that's exactly what we see him doing as the Yuan Dynasty has now been reached. Let's see if we can find that landmark. Up in the top corner, the Montlu Academy is online, and expect to see those pagodas thrown down any second. Keep in mind, once you've got those pagodas online, they can then start helping out with the training of additional Shaolin monks. The question's just going to be, where does he put them down? There they are. All 3 of them. He's going to need to bring these relics over as soon as he can. Remember that a relic in a pagoda is worth more than a relic in Imperial Age with the Tithe Barns upgrade. That's how impactful it is. And now we see those 3 pagodas come up. He's got plenty of resources in the bank here. He could be looking to produce triple Shaolin monks from these pagodas here. It's yet to go for it just yet. 3rd relic has been lifted out of the Shaolin monastery. We know that he's rallying towards this position with those additional monks, and the trebuchets are working their magic on the keep. I'd love to see with the Montlu Academy the ability to utilize Military Affairs Bureau, which allows your Imperial officials to supervise keeps and reduce the damage that they take by 35%. It's a pretty decent amount, but a couple of outposts now going to come down. I suspect he's looking for perhaps a sprinkled emplacement or 2. He's always got the option of going Imperial as well for a bombard cannon. There they are. The Shaolin monks now out. We don't see any supervision just yet, but you can see he's training out plenty of these guys all in queue. Springald's also joining the party. The final relic gets placed into the pagoda, and you can see it's going to be gold, wood, food, and stone for your pagodas. Incredible performance at the moment. What's interesting is that you don't actually get that little line underneath the pagoda, so you don't know that they're training a unit. The only way that you can tell is that there's a lot of Shaolin monks in queue. He's literally going only bald men at this stage. Man at arms. We're moving forward. It's a decent combination that Bum's going for at the moment. This is a classic combo that would have worked in the last patch if you weren't against Shaolin monks. But now up against Shaolin monks, I think the best unit to deal with these units is probably the Knight. I think the Knight is going to be the best, or maybe just Mass Mangonel could also be good, because the Mangonel does really good flat damage against enemy units. All right, well, slowly and steadily we can feel the battle beginning to build up. Springald's firing off at each other. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Oh my god, what happened there? Did you see that? Oh no, it was the Springald from the wooden fortress. Okay. I was wondering where it was. The Springald from the Springald shot from the Springald, but it was nowhere to be seen. And now the Shaolin monks moving out. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode because these guys look like they want to get down and dirty. Temple of the Sun coming in behind this. And now those Shaolin monks are getting their bamboo ready. Trebuchets hitting down the walls. Looks like he's decided he's just going to fall back for the moment, wait for that Imperial Age to come through. When Temple of the Sun arrives, he's going to have a little bit of extra movement speed because these are infantry units. On top of that, he's going to be having access to special upgrades. I don't know whether he's got it. Yeah, here we go. Piety. He can look to pick up Piety, and he can also look to pick up Herbal Medicine now, which will increase the healing rate together with the extra health. Let's just make sure he cancels that Shaolin Monk right now. It's in the front, and we want that through ASAP. Nice little upgrade. You can also be looking for +3s here. But I tell you what, the meme is definitely alive at the moment for Corvinus. Less than 500 point difference between these two. +3 melee armor, melee attack on the way in. The Shaolin Monk's taking a fair bit of damage, but now he turns. Whoa. I was going to bring back or take out the UI. I've decided to do it. You know what? We're just going to keep it. We're just going to assume that Piety's on the way in. He's kept this keep alive for quite a decent amount of time. The fact that his opponent's been unable to take this out is definitely credit to his defensive knowledge. But now the Shaolin monks make their way through. Is this unit broken? Is this unit balanced? The bamboo comes out, and let's just let him swing. Let him cook, baby. Let's listen. That is your professional level casting right there. Onomatopoeia coming in strong. But now, up towards that north side, it looks like the Bamboo Boys have broken their way through. The Bold Bamboo Boys, the Triple B crew. Watch out for them as they're now eating up that back line. And look at them on the front line, ripping through with their bamboo. Oh my lord. It is absolute destruction coming through from this unit. This is ludicrous. I can't believe we're seeing this. Look how stupid this unit is, dude. I can't believe it. But at the same time, I mean, it just goes to show that the game, never mind. It's all over Red Rover. Okay, all right. All right, guys. We can nerf the Shaolin Monk. This unit is so funny. Oh gosh. All right, guys, make sure you check out Corvinus. I'll leave a link in the description, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.